Welcome to another episode of the PML Podcast. I am Dr. Babajide Ogunseinde. Today we have a special guest on our podcast today. This is one of my first patients that had the PML technique performed on her. She was a patient that had a previous lumbar fusion with persistent SI joint pain, severe enough that her quality of life was affected. Her pain score was about 7 to 10 out of 10 with activity. She came to me and we had scans of her back, and we realized that her pain was coming because she had previous lumbar fusion to the sacrum, and then she had what we call adjacent level disease with severe stress around the sacroiliac joint. There are several data that have shown that when you fuse from lumbar fusion L5 to S1, you increase the stress across the sacroiliac joint by about 50%. If you go 2 levels above, you increase the stress about 152% across the SI joint. So our caller today, her name is Kate. She had a lumbar fusion to the pelvis, which was a 2 or 3 level fusion, and she would discuss how her pain was before and after surgery. So Kate, welcome to the Ogunseinde podcast, the PML podcast. Today, I have you introduced as Kate, and you had your PML surgery in 2023 after your previous lumbar fusion that caused increased stress across your SI joint. So welcome to the show. Tell us about your pain before the PML surgery.
Oh, okay. Well, to preface this, I had a car wreck 10 years earlier, and I didn't get it fixed. So when I met you, I could barely walk. You did the fusion, the lumbar fusion, and I was still having trouble, a lot of trouble. So you went in 6 months later and did a traditional SI fusion on the left SI. And I fell a few months after that. So in June of 23, you did the PML on both sides. Afterwards, it was immediate. The difference in the pain was immediate. I was, yes, you got on to me because I drove to Dallas 3 days later.
That is right. I remember when I spoke to you, I said, "Where are you?" And you said, "I'm in Dallas." And I said, "Wait, how did you get there?" You said, "I drove." 2 days after a PML SI fusion. Literally, Kate, there is no other technique out there that allows driving within the first week.
I know, right? But I had some really important people to interview, and I made it. And then I came home and stayed in bed for a couple of days, and then I was fine. And then I joined a gym. As soon as you let me, I joined a gym. I started walking 3 miles a day on the treadmill, and I did my first 5K 6 months later.
Wow. So tell me, before we did the PML, so I did a PML revision on the left side.
You did a traditional, I guess that's what you said.
Yeah, traditional.
It was, on the left side only.
Yes.
And then I fell, remember, because I can't sit still.
Yes.
And you went ahead and did the PML on
both sides.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the beauty about the PML that I keep telling people is you can use the PML as a primary fusion, like on the right side, but you can also use it as a salvage. So a lot of people that have had the traditional, which is the lateral to medial technique, they have, some of them, a lot of them do good, but a lot of them can still have residual pain. You had pain from the trauma, from the fall, but we were able to salvage that with the PML. There's no other technique really that allows you to salvage a previous existing SI fusion. Tell me about the pain before the surgery, the salvage. How bad was the pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Anywhere from a 7 to a 10, depending on if I was laying flat or moving.
And what kind of activities in your daily life was affected before we did the surgery?
Just about everything. I'm a writer and photographer, so I was having trouble going out. I couldn't do photography, which, sometimes you have to move funny to get the good shots, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And so it suffered a lot. I kept a shower chair in the bathtub throughout this whole ordeal until after the PML I could take it out.
Wow.
So, yeah. But, like I said before, the wreck I had in 2012, and I didn't get anything fixed then. By the time I saw you in 22, I could barely walk. I couldn't sleep. I was in so much pain. I was walking on a cane before I even saw an ortho.
Wow.
And I thought that was just my life.
Yeah.
During that wreck, my SI joint came dislocated.
Yeah.
And it fused back wrong. So I had been walking wrong for 10 years.
Wow.
And I thought I would never be able to walk right again in my whole life.
Wow.
And I was pushing through the pain all the time, and I couldn't do much, so I got fat. And then I saw you, and I was like, wait, after the first one, I was like, okay, all right, after I get over this surgery pain, let's see what happens. And then it was like, oh, I can sleep at night. But I still had trouble walking.
I remember.
Yeah, and then you did the SI on the left, the PML.
Yes. Well, the traditional was the first one we did.
Yes. Yeah, that was that November thing. Yeah. So you did that, and I was like, okay, let me see how long it takes to get over this one. And I still couldn't walk right. I was still using a cane. I was still walking slow, avoiding stairs. And that went on for about 6 months. And then you said, okay, I'm going to do this new technique, the PML on you. And I'm like, how the heck are you going to get those things in me and get them where they need to go? It just blew my mind. But I trust you. I love you. So I said, okay, let's do it.
That's right.
And I came home that day, and I'm laying in bed. Of course, I had some pain medicine in me, but I could actually lift my legs.
That's fantastic.
From laying prone, I was lifting my legs and going, okay, it hurts, but it works.
That's right.
And then after a few days of laying flat, I was walking around the house and doing fine. This opportunity came up for this, special event to cover, and I said, by golly, I'm going. And I went. Now, the 3-hour trip, it wasn't
pleasant.
that pleasant, but I made it. And then my magazine co-workers, they helped me in and out of my car. They parked my car for me, got me into the auditorium in the front row seat, and helped me backstage. So all that was good. I didn't really have to do a lot of movement.
Yes. And like this technique, I always tell people, I don't really have restrictions for patients.
Right.
This is the only technique that I know out there that allows patients to go to normal activity. Now, I have to be cautious because someone like you that is so driven, if you say no restrictions, then you start climbing trees and stuff. So I have to be very careful. When I say no restrictions, I mean regular activities.
Right.
You still drove, which it's you had a reason to drive. You had to go somewhere.
Yes.
We don't always recommend driving on pain medication. So you're an adult. You did what you had to do. Now the pain after we did the PML surgery. So tell us about your recovery. I know the first 4 to 6 weeks is always kind of rocky, but tell us about your recovery after that PML surgery.
Okay, well, when I got back from Dallas, I rested a little bit, and then I gradually started walking around the house, avoiding steps, using my cane, using my walker, but gradually I didn't need the walker. Eventually I just left it in the middle of the living room. Didn't even use it.
It's good.
And then, I was using the cane, then one day I accidentally left my cane in the shopping buggy. And I said, well, it was in the shopping buggy through the whole store. I didn't really use it. Okay, I don't need it. And then I started walking around the yard and walking. By about 5 or 6 months, I'd say, I was in the gym on the treadmill.
I remember.
And yes, and you got on to me.
Yes.
Because I was using machines I shouldn't.
Yeah, you were going too strong.
Yes. No more. I didn't use any of the leg machines after that, just the treadmill and the upper body. But I was just so pleased, and within a year, I lost 50 pounds.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yes, and then I went on my first 5K. Of course, I didn't run.
Yes.
Still can't run.
Yes.
But I can walk pretty darn fast.
That's good. But you couldn't do that before.
No.
Yes.
No, it had been 10 years since I was in the gym.
Wow. Listen.
And it just,
yeah,
you changed my life.
Well,
you changed my life.
Thank you, Kate. I mean, you and I have a special bond because even after that, I was able to do surgery on your neck. Now we don't have to talk about that today, but the PML surgery is something that is revolutionary. Like nobody else does this. We invented the technique, and we've done over 1,000, Kate, of this surgery. So and tell me, just kind of give me a brief summary about your writing. Like I know you write a lot, and you write for magazines. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, I write for a music magazine out of Dallas called Buddy Magazine. It's on buddymagazine.com, and I do concert photography, and I interview musicians like Miranda Lambert, Dolly Parton, Jackson Brown, Jimmy Vaughn, the band Phil. I've interviewed a lot of people.
Wow.
And it's hard to get these interviews. So when something comes up, and the trip to Dallas was a tribute, a fundraiser for a gentleman. He's the best slide guitar player in the world, holds the title, and he has stage 4 cancer. So there were a lot of people from all over the country coming down for him. And I got to interview Paul Reed Smith,
wow,
the owner of PRS Guitars. Yes, and there was just a lot of good people there, and I really wanted to do that.
That's
so
awesome. You
I'm
did
a
it.
grown woman. If I want to do something, I do
That's
it.
right. So tell our followers how many, since you had your surgery, how many patients or friends have you sent to us to do surgery?
Oh my gosh. 5?
5,
Is
yes.
it 5?
That's
yeah,
correct.
I think it's 5.
All from your area there.
Yes. I'm your ambassador.
That's
over
right.
here.
And believe me, I follow them, and they're all doing good. And of course, we're not going to mention names. I'm going to have some of them back on the show. But thank you, Kate. I really, really, really thank you for this. Because without a patient testimonial, it's hard to convince people, or not even convince, to show the advantage of this technique over many other techniques. And
Well, those 5 people are my friends here, and they have seen the change in me. They saw me on the 5K. They saw me in the gym. They were like, girl, you couldn't even walk. What happened? And then they would say, who was the doctor that fixed you? Because I really need something done. That's how it happened.
Wow. Yes. And I know right now, like I told you, I will always be there. You just continue to do good. One day, I promise you and I are going to sit down and write about our experience together. And it's going to happen.
I would love to.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I miss you, Dr. O.
Thank you so much. Hey, Kate, I will get back. I'll talk to you later on Facebook, and just thank you for sharing your input, and love you so much. Okay?
Love you too.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So that was a real patient that we just talked to. This patient had severe debilitating lower back pain, previous lumbar fusion. Without the PML SI Fusion, there was no way this pain could be alleviated to this point, because you can't wait it out. It's not like something that you can just wait out. This pain has to be stabilized. It's a mechanical instability from adjacent level disease. She had the surgery. She's pain-free now. She's back to her normal life. She does have a son. She didn't tell you this. She has a son. She just came back from Houston tonight to do this show. So we'll give you cases like this as we go along. Live, real patient testimony that shows you the advantage of the PML technique. I am Dr. Babajide Ogunseinde. Click on the link below, subscribe. We'll see you next week.